writing business. That's nice. Acupuncturist. I have always wanted to do acupuncture, just saying. I've never bit the bullet because it does look a little scary. Awesome. Nice to meet you. Osashi Z. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but nice. Another Dallas person in the house. Nice to meet you.
All right, nice to meet you as well. Thank you.
Okay, and then we have Harold, who's a realtor broker in Chicagoland. Chicago. I think I said this last time, but I'm obsessed with Chicago hot dogs. I don't know if y'all are, but they just don't make them like that in Texas. Awesome, Albert, life and health insurance agent. Nice to meet you. Jim from Plano. Look, another Dallas person. Nice to meet you. IT products and services. So not the US dating site professional. Awesome. Again, we'll get started in about 3 more minutes, just allowing everyone to introduce themselves, where you're from, what you do. Awesome. Dave from David Lee Consulting, New Jersey. Awesome. Another agency. Nice to meet you, David. And then Trish, communications and media specialist in Galveston. Wow, a lot of Texas people on here today. Nice. I don't know how to pronounce your name in the chat. A marketer, but nice to meet you. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to butcher that really bad. Awesome, awesome. 2 more minutes. Texas doesn't have football teams, so Texas doesn't have football teams, so need something to do. Yeah, we do. I may not be reading that right. Texas is Cowboys, Texas Longhorns, Texas A&M, America's team. I don't know what that means, but if you can't tell, I'm not a sports person, so I do know those sports. Not real football. What? Okay, I know the Cowboys aren't that great. Hi everyone, PR specialist in Las Vegas. Hello, Lori. Retired and still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. Aren't we all? However, I teach about changing mindset and behavior, self-image. Love that. I think that's awesome. Everyone needs that, including myself. Awesome, awesome. James, you're in Texas too, aren't you? Yes, you are. That's so funny. Texas Longhorns do good. And A&M, I guess. You're one or the other, though, in Texas. All right. Okay, so and we'll give it about 1 more minute. Oh, Nashville. I've never been there, but I'm going for the first time in December, and I'm very excited. I've been to Tennessee, just not Nashville. I've been to Gatlinburg. I actually loved Gatlinburg. And it is my dream to retire in the Smoky Mountains because I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And the weather's nice-ish. Yes, honestly. Oh, that's what you mean by football. Yes, James, that is true. We really don't. I mean, we do, but we don't. I do love FC Dallas, though, and it's in Frisco, not far from you. So I know it's not a USA team. It's just Major League Soccer, but it's still really fun. Hi, Johannesburg, South Africa, marketing. Nice to meet you. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. I know there's a few more people joining the Zoom room, but we can go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna, get my Zoom ready to share. And we will get started. For those of you joining, if you can't see in the chat, we're just all introducing ourselves, what we do, where we're from. Feel free to continue it. Awesome. Everyone should be able to see my screen, and then I'm just going to pull up the chat. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat, but we'll just to let you know, we'll have a Q&A at the very end too. So stick around for that, where you can ask lots of questions about everything that we're going over. It's dedicated a space for you all for that reason. But today specifically, we're going to be talking about lead generation, effective ways to capture leads. And as you all have seen from the email, it's going to be talking about social media to help with that. So before we get started, just a little intro on me. I have over 5 years of experience in marketing and social media. I worked at places like Sprout Social, which is a huge company with social media management. So I've learned a lot over the years within marketing and social. I've worked with hundreds of business owners and entrepreneurs. I help provide strategic services to help grow their businesses. I always like to say what's different about my agency and what we do a little bit differently than most agencies is I tie in a little bit of operational consulting in the mix of marketing. So I believe that every business, the way that we run it and how we run marketing directly affect one another. So if I drive 50 leads to your business, but you don't have a great customer journey, it's not going to be as effective for your business. So what we like to do is just kind of look at and audit what you're currently doing, how your business runs, how it operates on every level. So that way we can come up with marketing plans to help streamline the growth and where you want to go. So just because you want everything under the sun doesn't mean that your business is built enough to handle that capacity. So we really make sure that we're building things in a roadmap for you, customized to you, so that way it'll maximize your growth plans. And we're focusing on where you're at and where you need to go. I've also worked with Progreda over a year now. So it's an all-in-one marketing software tool. In the chat though, I always like to ask who is and is not using Progreda. So feel free to put a yes or a no if you're using Progreda, just so I have an idea of who in here is a Progreda user versus not. And I can highlight some things throughout the platform and presentation. Awesome. Sort of a mixed bag right now. Oh, awesome. Well, this will be great for you. You'll learn how to use the social media aspect today. Awesome. Okay, so looks 50-50 to me. So we'll go over social media and go over Progreda, an all-in-one marketing tool. It's fantastic for businesses. So I always love to highlight that and how it can give you more time and money back in your pocket. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to be talking about social media marketing. So there are many social networks out there. I know it can be overwhelming trying to determine which ones you should be on, but we're going to dive into some tactics on how you can build a solid social media strategy. And that's how we're going to be capturing leads is through your social posts. So constant and regular posting is going to help with that brand recognition. And I always like to kind of give some stats here, especially as we know that there are more and more social platforms that are popping up every day now. 55% of TikTok users have bought something after seeing a brand on an app. So that's just an example of how crucial social media is to be a part of your business and to help generate leads. It is just one of the ways that we can generate. There's usually one of three that I'll go over, but we're going to go over just organic social today. So obviously Meta, that's inclusive of Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Threads, and YouTube. So those are all really the major social platforms. You do not have to be on every single platform. I know that you will hear from so many different people, be on every single platform. No, get good at one or two platforms before you expand, especially if you don't really have a solid presence today. If you have a little bit of an older audience, go on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, really great for that. If you have a little bit of a younger or just diverse in general, be sure Meta, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is a fantastic one. You really can't go wrong with TikTok in general. It is the most popular social platform now, and it's the one that where you'll see a lot of the times your call to actions are actually going to be taken by audience members versus on Facebook and Instagram. But if I had any advice for any of you today, if you are not currently posting to social media or you do not have social media today, get your Facebook, your Instagram, and your TikTok. Just start with those three things and you'll be golden. The other ones you can always expand to. If you're more B2B, you can always throw in LinkedIn maybe instead of one of the others. But the others are really great long-term strategies to incorporate into your social media. Today, just focus Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And again, if you're strictly B2B, you can also sprinkle in some LinkedIn there. But that's what I would encourage all of you to do. And so the biggest question, why social media? There's over 1 billion users using social media today. We're going to go over some statistics on some of that. So one is we got to understand social media users. Knowing that there's over 1 billion users out there, that means untapped potential for your target audience. We need to know and understand. So 84% of heavy social media users are aged between 18 and 29. So if you are and your target audience is in that age range, please be on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I will say that a million times today. Go create business accounts if you don't have them already, and start posting there, because 84% of a billion is really a large number of untapped potential there. More than 33% of the total population of the world uses social media on a daily basis. Daily, Monday through Sunday, they are using social media. And think about all of us. I'm on social media every single day. And yes, I'm a marketing agency, but even if I wasn't a marketing agency, I love TikTok. I'm obsessed with TikTok. So more than 33%, again, of that billion is across social every single day, meaning your leads, your target audience is on social. It's a huge untapped potential. And then 151 minutes. That's the amount of time internet users spend on social media, higher now than it's ever been, especially post COVID when TikTok blew up. During COVID, more and more people are spending most of their time on social and less time anywhere else. So, social media is, again, crucial, a huge part of businesses to not only have that brand recognition and awareness, stay up in front of people, and then also generating leads from social. So if you're not doing that today, one thing I want you to take away today is create your Facebook, your Instagram, and your TikTok and start posting. And we'll talk about how you can post later on through this presentation. But again, it is so important. There's over 1 billion people. It's untapped potential. But a lot of you, I keep saying target audience. What does that mean? What is a target audience? So a target audience is just a group of people that you can service to. So whether you're highlighting a product, a service, it's aimed towards them, typically defined by their traits and interest. So if it's someone who loves fitness and you're a fitness brand and they're always, liking or commenting on fitness, they would be a perfect example of a target audience. You want people within those interests. Or if your primary product or service benefits women between the ages of 18 and 25, or postpartum women, for example, that's how you kind of start to define what a target audience is. Sometimes, especially if we're new in business, which a lot of people on my webinars typically are. So I want to highlight, what if I'm new and I don't have an established target audience yet? Well, we'll go over later, especially in Progreda, where you can look at reporting and start to look at your social media analytics to determine, okay, when people are following me, when they're liking, when they're commenting, who are they? Are they women? Are they men? Are they Gen Z? Is it millennials? Is it boomers? Like, who is actually engaging in your audience? Later on, and I won't go deep into this, but later on too, not only can you look at just who is engaging with you, but then you can take it a step further and say, okay, who's buying from me, or who's following my call to actions, who's DMing me, who's entering into my funnels or my email campaigns. And then from there, you can further refine that target audience. But again, for those who are very new, they may not have one, just start posting and the data is going to be there to show you exactly who is going to be engaging with your content. And then competitors. So when you are looking at your target audience and trying to figure out, look at your competitors. So one thing that I love to do, and this is just a quick little hack, it's always love to Google people around me. So I'm a marketing agency. I would Google marketing agencies in Dallas, Texas. What that's going to start to pull up are sponsored Google posts of different agencies who are running ads within my area. It's going to pop up people that aren't, but are in the search ranking in their website. I always love to look at their website, but I always go find their socials. I go to their Instagram. I look at their followers. I look at who's commenting on their post, what they're commenting, how their people are engaging with them. If they have a really strong, large social following, that's going to help me understand, okay, if I see people in my area and these are the comments, these are the type of people that are following them, I can start to kind of take that also. There are tools out there that you can use to research your competitors also, but I find the easiest way is just to Google people around you, Google other places that may be a little bit more outside you. So for me in Dallas, I know Austin and San Antonio, Houston are two other really large cities. So I can even look at agencies in that area too, and start to just kind of combine like some sort of competitive landscape within my own area You could just do marketing agencies in general to see who pops up. I always like to look at our your direct competitors, but then just other competitors that may not even be truly a direct competitor, but still service people maybe in an area that you do not service. It's still a good idea to compare apples to apples here. What's different in your service area versus a different one. I'll give a perfect example of this. I was chatting last week with a notary business who's in the DFW area. And I told her, and we looked it up together. I said, okay, let's look at notaries in the Dallas area on TikTok, just see what they're posting about. Let's see, look at the top videos, look at the comments. And in the Dallas area, there were some videos. I mean, they had a couple thousand views, 20, 50 comments and saved posts. But I said, okay, let's take it a step further and just look like at notary in general, digital notary services on TikTok. A stark difference from Dallas to just general notary. We went from a couple thousand view top videos to hundreds and millions view posts. And we were able to see the differences of like, okay, when people are thinking about notary services, what are they thinking about, whether it's in my own local business or just overall within my industry as a whole. So don't always get bottlenecked or turn your blinders on to competitors in just your own area. Look outside of that just to see overall within your industry that competitive landscape. It's really going to help you figure out what you should be focused on. What are the common comments or questions that you see across the board that's going to help with content ideas? It's also going to help with your sales pitch. If you see a lot of the same comments about one particular area of your business, it's going to help arm you with that knowledge of knowing, okay, I can do some objection handling here if someone does come back to me while I'm talking with a lead and says, oh, well, I have this issue. You already are aware of it. You've seen people comment on other people's photos or videos about it, and you can effectively be ready for that objection handling. So target audiences within your competitors, really helpful to see and help you redefine and elevate your target audience already. Some different tools that you can use here. So you can use Progreda to help monitor this. So Progreda has a CRM functionality inside of it where you'll be able to manage people within your pipeline. So if you, and we'll talk about this a little bit later and how you can do that, but if you post on social media and you get a lead from social, that lead will go straight into Progreda, can manage them through whatever journey that you need to take them through, whether it's trying to get them to book, whether it's cold calling them, whether it's nurturing them with email marketing campaigns, whatever the case may be. Progreda will allow you to automate that customer's journey. So again, putting time back in your pocket, but then also money in your pocket by being able to automate some of that sales process for you. They also have marketing components. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But one thing I want to take from just organic social media, refining your target audience, Progreda has a CRM functionality. And then on top of that, they have what's a tagging system. Think of it as like internal organizational buckets where you can bucket out those target audiences. So on social, if you're marketing like a free ebook, for example, and you're gearing it towards a certain person, when that person opts in or DMs you about it and you send it to them through Progreda, you'll be able to automate and put a tag on there of like free ebook for, fitness, for example. Later on, you're going to be able to use that as you think about how you want to grow and maybe do some more, monthly newsletters, or when you have offers within that fitness world of that ebook, you can go back to that list and pull everyone who downloaded it and be able to market to them instantly. So two large components here is being able to manage the leads that come in, and then think about that future state, being able to organize and bucket them out internally inside of Progreda. So that way, future state, you have a pool of leads that you can market to in a more defined way. So that way you're not just marketing it to anyone and everyone, but people who really do fit that niche or that offer that you will offer in the future. Some other things, Google Analytics, GA4 is another really great one. So if you're doing more of like the advertising side, or if you are posting links like UTM tracking, for example, social media is a really popular feature. You'll be able to add that UTM inside of Google Analytics and be able to track, okay, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, I posted the exact same link, but 50% of my link clicks came actually from TikTok. So in the future, if I'm going to talk about this particular service or offering again, I'm going to really push it hard on TikTok, as Facebook only had like 5% click-through rate for that particular particular link. So it's going to help you understand who's actually clicking and where they're clicking. So that way your time is spent more strategically versus just throwing things at the wall and hoping that they stick. Other things, looking at your ads managers too, that can be helpful if you're running ads on top of social media. You can look in that and look at those insights to see, okay, when I ran ads versus when I posted organically, here's kind of the difference between the two. So again, these are just some helpful tools to have in your uh, toolkit, essentially, to help you make better decisions as you continue to grow and elevate your business and generate more leads. We're going to go over now some examples of what that internal data looks like. So here's an example of Progreda here. So this is like a Progreda dashboard. So for those who have Progreda, you should be familiar with this, but if not, this is like your source of truth for reporting. It's quick, it's easy to understand. I can see here in this opportunity status here in the top left, I have 171 leads in here, and I can see how many are open, won, and how many are lost. So it just gives me a good idea of where I'm at right now. The opportunity value also gives me an idea of where my revenue is sitting. So how much revenue do I have sitting in this open pipeline here? And then it tells me what my conversion rate is. So out of all the ones, 171, I've won and lost about 59, if I'm doing the math very quickly, correctly, 58. My goodness, I should know what 4 plus 4 is. That's not even right. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, I'm terrible at math, if you can't tell. 48, not 58, sorry. But out of the 48 won and lost here, you can see almost 26% is my conversion rate. So I've won about 35,000 in revenue. Then I can also see my funnel here underneath the opportunity status. So this is where I'm gonna really be able, that CRM that I mentioned earlier, really be able to monitor those different paths people are taking. So from my organic leads from Facebook, I can see almost $50,000 in revenue are sitting there. If I had email marketing running, I can see, okay, people who are going down the email marketing route, I can see where that's sitting. If I have advertising, I can even have a stage for advertising to see where my advertising leads are. This right here is a fantastic way for you to know very quickly which portion of your marketing strategy is working. So if I know I'm getting the most leads and most revenue from social, I'm going to put more time, more money, and more energy into enhancing my social media content than maybe I would my email marketing. I'm still going to invest in my email marketing, but I can prioritize effectively which route of marketing is working the best for me, and then put the most money into that. A lot of the times we just assume that advertising is going to give us the most bang for our buck, but that's not always true within each industry. So having this data, having this funnel to be able to prove with numbers which strategy is the most effective for you. And a lot of the times, because social is such an underrated part of businesses' strategies, they often do the best, because if you think about it, organic posting, the most money you're losing is the time that you're putting into it, or if you do hire someone outside to do that. But still, it does generate a lot more bang for your buck. And then you can combine the advertising with social to get even more, to maximize your benefits there. But essentially, all that to say is it's a really great way to see where people are at in your funnel steps, see where they're coming from. Also using that internal tag to see too, okay, how many people came from organic versus ads versus different areas that I might be focusing on. And then I can see stage distribution too. So where everyone is at. So I have 67 people sitting in organic leads. I have 20 in email, 14 in appointment, et cetera, et cetera. So I can see where most of my leads are sitting here. So it's a fantastic way to monitor very quickly where everyone is at within the system here inside of Progreda. And if you don't know where the dashboard is, it's the top left. It's the very first tab when you log in for those who do have Progreda. Here's another one for Google Data Studio. So here's an example of where we can start to see like demographics and social media metrics, advertising metrics. So we can see like our reach, impressions, link clicks, and then we can see some of that age and gender here. So for those of you who are unaware of A, who your target audience is, or B, I'm just starting and I'm trying to figure that out, as you start posting data, you can start to, again, look at these metrics and start to see, okay, I can see most of my leads are within the 65 and the 55 to 64. So I have a lot of older people here, and then mostly female. So So if that's the case here, that's where I would be able to determine, okay, when people are opting in, when they're engaging with me, they're female within this age range. So in the future, if I run ads, I know that those are going to be my target demographics. Or now that I know it's female within that age range, what's important to people in that age range when they get into that older age. And then we also think about the brand and industry. Cadence Plus is a fitness brand. So I'm going to be talking about how staying active in your older age is going to allow you to play with your grandchildren, or it's going to allow you to bend over and grab things, and you're not going to have to be in like a nursing home. So thinking about those things of where they're at in that state is going to really help you understand how and what type of conversations you want to be having with your target audience. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to gain visibility on social. So I just told you the importance of it, what a target audience is, ways that you can measure, examples of what you can use to measure it. But it's like, okay, well, now how do I even gain visibility? What do I post? How do I post? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a step back first and kind of talk about communication. It's called the hook point method, but it's very important. I think it is just fantastic. I have started using this and I've seen fantastic results. So basically what the hook point communication method is a lot of the times when we think about copy, writing copy for social media, we think about, okay, our target audience is X and our service is X here. So and I'll give you an example, if I'm a fitness trainer for postpartum women, we're really going to hit on the feeling side of the house. Like, what the feeling of postpartum is. I know that they're down in the dumps, or they may be. I know that there's a lot of new changes happening in their life. So I'm thinking about these things. I'm going to be talking about them on social because I know that that's important part of a postpartum journey. However, the data shows us, and this is data from over 1 million people, so large pool of people. So it shows us there's actually 6 ways that people interpret or prefer communication styles. 30% of it is feelings. Most of us are based on feelings. So whether we buy, whether we do a call to action, our justification for that is the emotion that drives us to do that call to action or to buy that product or service. However, that's only 30% out of 100. So we have 25% of facts. Some people are very facts driven. So what options are there? Who, what, when, where, why? What's the data? What's the time frames? What does that mean? 20% of it is fun. So, oh, I love that. That looks awesome. That's super cute. Totally want to do that. And then we have 10% of values and imagination. So values is respect, dedication, they're trustworthy, in my opinion, where imagination is, imagine yourself in this scenario, or that'd be like putting them in a space where they can start to imagine what it's like, where some would be waiting for more direction or wanting more time to reflect. So they're trying to imagine themselves with whether it's in a past or future state. And then 5% is action driven. So bottom line, enough talk, make it happen, go for it immediately. It's a very small subset, because if you think about your own buyer journey, most of us don't just immediately buy something off an ad as soon as we see it. I know that I don't personally. It takes me a few times. I got to look at their socials. I got to think about it. Even if I might, really want to do it, I don't immediately typically buy things. And most of us typically don't. So, but when we think about that, why is it important to think about all different 6 types of communication styles? So here's an example. We have 2 people. We have a marketing director and we have our customer. Both very similar profiles. They're both female, between the ages 30 to 35. They both have high incomes. They both love to shop at Macy's. They both have children. They're married and they're university educated. So they look the exact same on paper. So if I'm Macy's, for example, I look at both of these individuals and I know, okay, they love to shop at Macy's, they have children, and they're high income. So I could potentially garner social media or even advertising as ways for them to maybe sales on business professional type outfits, or children's huge sell for children's between the age whatever, back to school, summer, whatever the case may be, because I know that they have children and I know that they're university educated, so they probably work in business. I know this marketing director does, and then they love to shop at Macy's. So I'm going to hit their feelings really hard on, marketing director, you want to look sophisticated, you want people to respect you, et cetera here. But here's the difference that a lot of people don't think about. Their communication styles are very different. Marketing director is all about feelings, values, fun, which is a lot of people. However, our customer is very action driven, very imaginative, very factual driven. So if I'm putting out an ad that's very feelings driven, guess what? I totally hit the nail on the head with the marketing director. I failed to get my customer. My customer is going to scroll right past me. I didn't hit their actions, their imaginations, or their facts at all. I didn't hit their communication style at all. So what does that tell us when we think about writing copy, and when we think about what we need to be saying to our target audience? Instead of it looking a little bit different, so a little bit of imagination, a little bit of values, or we're just doing fun, or we're just doing facts, we actually need to put all 6 communication styles in our copy. And I know that sounds really hard. You're like, how the heck do I put imaginations and values and funs and facts? It's actually really not that hard. And later on, I'll tell you some easy tips and tricks that I do that help me in my business, but can also help you. But the reason why we know this works is, again, they did a huge study. Everyone, I'm sure, is very familiar with Keller Williams. They're a broker company. If you haven't, I don't know why, but anyway, a long time ago, the CEO of Keller Williams kind of started to recognize this. They felt like every broker and realtor out there would post a home and be like, oh, it's 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1 acre of land in this area. So very just facts driven about what it was, open space, etc. But he was like, I feel like there's untapped potential there. So they hired this huge marketing firm and they did this huge test. And they were like, what if we hit way more than just facts here? So they started posting, like, imagine yourself with your family in the backyard on the weekends, barbecuing while your children are running around on the playground, etc. So they're kind of hitting those fun, imagination, and then value of like being family and growing your family. There's a school district down the road and it's priced at here and it has this many bedrooms for you to grow your family. So it's kind of hitting all these different ways of communication style. And Keller Williams saw a huge, huge spike in their business, which is why they're Keller Williams today, is because they blew up on social media once they kind of switched gears away from just your typical 5 bedroom, here's where it's at and the price. And they started pulling in all these different, and it was just one line at a time, essentially. So pulling in 6 different ways of tying in all these communication styles, but it hits everybody if they start to read it in different ways. So it's very important when we think about our communication styles, it's got to incorporate all 6 of those communication styles. So with that being said, let's talk about content. So another big misconception with content is you need to be posting every day, all the time, post on your story, go live, post reels, post photos. And while yes, it is important to be posting, however, quality over quantity. We live in a very, very oversaturated digital world. It's ever evolving. And so quality content does matter, because if I were to post a picture and terrible lighting, it's a little bit blurry, you may not be able to capture it, and then the same person posts the same photo, but it's great lighting, it's aesthetically pleasing, guess what? They're going to get way more views, way more engagement than this other person. Now, I'm not saying all, it's a very dramatic example. However, it is very true that you should not be posting every day if it's not quality content. So if you can only get quality content once a week, great, do it. Start to get really good at it. Build a following, because all the algorithms care about is consistency. It doesn't matter the amount of consistency that you have, but algorithms on social media, which is basically, for those who don't know, it's the back end of social on how your content gets put in front of people. They have to meet certain criterias. And one of those criterias is that retention, is that viewership, in order for you to continue to get in front of them. So again, if you're only able to post really solid content once a week, start doing that, because as long as you're consistent once a week and it's good content, the algorithms will pick that up and know, okay, we know that this person's going to be posting once a week and we know that we're going to throw them into the algorithm. But if I'm posting one here and then 5 months later I post here, algorithm's going to do nothing for you. And you're not going to grow on social the way that you should. So be consistent, but be consistent with your quality over quantity. Some other things, attention spans are very short. So we know that studies show us that we have attention spans shorter than a goldfish, which is 7 seconds. And for Gen Z, which is the younger generation, their attention spans are even shorter than that. It's 4 seconds. You have 4 seconds to hook somebody before someone just scrolls to the next piece of content. So it's really important that quantity is hooking people, and it's nice quality post over quantity. Quantity, again, algorithms are not going to show your content if there's no retention on your content. People scroll immediately past your content. Algorithm's going to know that, and they're not going to continue to put you in front of that. So let's think about that. Think about, I'm going to challenge everyone here today to think about, okay, how many times can I post quality content? And if you say 1, 2, 5, stick to yourself for that. And I challenge you for the next 30 days, stick to that, whether it's once a week or a couple times a week. And I promise you, you're going to see a huge difference on your social media metrics, and you'll grow on social if you can just stick to consistent quality content. The next thing is copy. So writing good copy. So that's what some of those frameworks, some of the 6 communication styles and some different things we're going to talk about, but we can use a framework essentially. And I'll talk about later a little bit more about that framework, but there is a way that you can get in front of the algorithms based on the way that you write copy. So I talked about a second ago that especially Gen Z, our attention spans are ranging anywhere from 3 to 7 seconds on a social post. So I can see a video, I can see a photo, but then I'm starting to read the content. The first line has to hook me. If the first line of your copy does not hook somebody, does not get them start thinking or wanting to read more, they are going to scroll past your post. So think about ways of your target audience, what you want to hook them with. What are common things that they're asking? What are problems that they're having, where you can frame it in a question or a statement that grabs their attention? So an example is I have a brand who is in the mental health space for men. And so one thing that we did is a hook point where we said, here's why we don't believe mental health for men in today's world is important. Well, you're like, whoa, wait a second. Now, the story is actually about how mental health for men is just a blanket statement, and it's great that people acknowledge it, but there's actually no action for mental health for men. But it got people immediately stopping and being like, what the heck do they mean that mental health doesn't matter for men? So that's an example of where you can start to think about, okay, the common problem here is my target audience, I want to capture men for mental health, but I want to grab their attention. And what's not going to grab their attention when you say mental health doesn't matter for men, and here's why. Then you're like, whoa, it's going to get you to read. Algorithms are going to see that. They're going to pick that up, and they're going to know, okay, people are interested in what you have to say. So that's an example where you can start to think about your audience, your service, and how you can come up with 1-sentence hooks to grab someone's attention, and then be a good storyteller. So when you're writing that copy and you're using that framework, write a good story per se. And I know that's kind of hard to think about. Well, write a story. It doesn't have to be super long, but just think about how a lot of people will say press and release. So we want to grab their attention. So they're pressing in, and we want to release a little bit. So give them a little bit of information. But again, we want to capture their attention the whole time. So then we're pressing again. And so people call them the hooks and then the rehooks. So you have your hook that grabs their attention. You tell a little bit of that story, but then you're rehooking them throughout your entire piece of copy, because you don't want them just to read that first sentence and then they get bored of, super long post and then scroll past. So think about it as the hook and the rehook. How do I hook them? How do I continue to rehook them until the very end, to where they're either commenting, to where they're, hitting the link in my bio, whatever call to action that I have. And we'll talk about call to actions in just a second, but it's really important when we think about our copy, we're using that framework to hook them. And then research. We want to research social trends in general. So a lot of people get this wrong. They will go to social and they will just look at what their industry is doing. What is industry doing? And that's not a bad thing. So if I'm a realtor and I look at what other realtors are doing, that's not a bad thing. But basically you're capping yourself at whoever the best is in that realtor space, when really what we should be doing is looking at social trends worldwide. Doesn't matter what industry, it does not have to be industry specific, but we need to see what's working on social. So you can kind of start looking at the top videos with 1 million+ views, maybe hundreds of thousands views and just thousands views. What's the difference between all of them? How did they write their copy? What kind of type of quantity not quantity, sorry, quality content did they post? Start to look just overall, because algorithms care about that at the end of the day. So research social trends, not just social trends in your industry or competitive landscape. You can do that. Those are good things to start doing. And I'll challenge you too, for people who are not doing social media today, just start with your competitors, just so you can get used to match the level of where they're at. And then once you get that going, maybe in 60 days, take it up a notch and just start looking at social trends and how you can use those to your benefits. But research is very important, as digital age is ever evolving. There's new social media platforms coming out all the time. There's new trends that are always emerging. So having that research and researching consistently is really important. So always be researching, always be trying to come up with good hooks. I know it can be overwhelming, but I'm going to challenge you. It's the basis to be successful in social. And then you test it. You repeat and test until you find a system that works for you. And you can look at a lot of people who are very successful on social. If you look at just their grid on Instagram, you'll see a lot of the times all their content looks very similar. Because once they find something that works, you just repeat it until it doesn't. And then you go to another social trend and you repeat it. And that's the gist of social. It's a lot of time, but once you get really good at it, you're going to see a huge benefit to your business. All right, so call to action. So we talked about social, we talked about good copy, good content. Now we've got to think about the call to actions. So what is a call to action? So it's driving someone to an outside source, whether it's a website or landing page. For example, you're driving them maybe to a website to put in their information. So whether it's booking an appointment, downloading a free, ebook, or signing up for a newsletter or an event, whatever the case may be, they're inputting their first name, last name, email, and phone number and hitting submit. Blogs, you can drive people to blog post. This helps with SEO, search ranking on your website if you want to drive traffic to your website to blog post. That also is going to help identify you as a thought leader in the space too when you have blogs on your website. So that's a really good call to action on social, is driving people to your website to start reading about what you have to say about your industry, and then they can continue to search you out as a resource within that particular space. Landing pages, similar to websites, whether it's your direct website or just a one-off landing page where you're having them pull in their information. Linktree and link in bio. So you'll see a lot of times on social, click the link in my bio, or link in bio is where you can add links to your actual post inside of Instagram, for example. But both are used to track people or drive people to a specific place from your post. So if my post is about something and I say, click the link in my bio to learn more, then I'm going to hit that person's profile and I'm going to go click on their link in their bio, and then it's going to take me wherever I need to go. And then once you get your audience to interact, it's going to help you get a step closer into that higher return on investment. So
Quick question. What's the difference between a landing page and a website? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
No, you're good. That's a great question. So a website is, let me think about that. So a website is where anyone can search you up. So if I was to I would assume accusuccess.com, for example, I'm just searching up a website. I'm looking at their total, everything they have, all their services, blogs, what's on their homepage, etc. A landing page is more set up for like offers. So say within your acupuncture, you are going to be giving away a 20% service. So for anyone who's a new customer for this particular service, I'm going to be giving 20% away. You would have like www.accusuccess.com/offer, for example. That's a landing page. So that offer does not exist in your website, but it's a one-off link that you can drive traffic to capture leads. So if you're going to be doing a 20% off, instead of putting that on your actual website, it's just a one-pager, quick info, put in your information, capture that lead, drive them to your CRM, like Progreda, for example. Is that
Thank
helpful?
you. Yeah, super helpful. So the landing page is not actually your website then? It's a separate website you have? Is that what it is?
Yeah, think about it as like a separate mini website, a one-off page that you want to drive traffic to temporarily. So a lot of like people, if they're going to give something free away, so like a free ebook or a free downloadable, it's a landing page that they're driving you to, not their actual website. If they're going to be giving away a free offer or free appointment or free consultations, they're driving them to that one page landing page. That way, think about it this way too. If you're talking with somebody and you're networking and you're like, hey, actually, I have this promo if you're interested in it, 20% off, or I'm going to be doing this free consultation. And they're like, yeah, you'll just say, okay, great. Go to www.acusuccess.com/consultation. And then it's going to direct them straight there. So it's a more refined, targeted way for leads to go immediately where they need to go. So that way you can capture them versus their website trying to navigate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so once you have those call to actions, you're driving them to those different, locations of your choosing. Once you get them to interact, capture them leads, this is where you can convert them into leads. So this is where, again, you can pull them into Progreda. So whether you're driving them to your website or landing page, they fill out a form, or put their information in that can drive to Progreda. And then you can automate that customer's journey. So you can send them a confirmation. You can try and push them down further down your funnel or your journey, whether it's trying to get them to book an appointment, get them to purchase, get whatever call to action that you're trying to get them to take. You can automate that person's journey. Again, just putting more time back in your pocket and more revenue. So then you're able to service more when you're not spending all your time doing manual reach out. And then here's an example. So here's one by Social Pilot. It's hard to spend on marketing while your business is finding its feet in the market. Check out 9 small budget marketing ideas. Grow your business without breaking the bank. So if I'm a business looking to grow and I don't have all the money in the world, that's going to sound appealing to me. And then there's the link at the very bottom here that we can see. I'm clicking on that. So their call to action to me is clicking on this link. We can see that it's a bit.ly link too. So in this link here, you see bit.ly right here. That's another another software where you can put UTMs on links such as this, and then you can monitor the click-through rate. So if I posted this bit.ly link on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, for example, inside of bit.ly or inside of Google Analytics, I'd be able to see how many people from each of those platforms actually clicked. And then once they clicked on those 9 small budget marketing ideas, I should have another call to action in there to further drive them down to where I want them to go. So just an example of a really great call to action, really good copy too. So it's hard to spend on marketing while your business is finding its feet in the market. That right there is a great hook. If I'm a business that's struggling to grow and I don't have time to invest or even the money to invest in marketing, that's going to grab my attention immediately. And then here it is. Check out 9 small budget marketing ideas. So there's that release a little bit. And then here's that press, grow your business without breaking the bank. Who doesn't want to do that? And so it's going to motivate me to click on this link, which is a great call to action. Okay, now let's talk about the different types. So there are different types of call to actions as far as where that you can pull them, but then also how you get them to move. So creating a sense of urgency, that's that FOMO of for a limited time or for the next 7 days, those type of call to actions are creating that sense of urgency where it's, oh my gosh, I only have a week to decide if I need to do that. So, or enter a chance to win. That's another great giveaways are really good for creating that sense of urgency, but also capturing lead information. Choosing impactful tones. So this is just creating an online voice that can help you do unique call to actions that kind of slip under the radar while still driving engagement. So it's not directly super salesy or there's a direct sentence that is a call to action. It's a little bit more subtle in a way that gets people to click anyway versus you just asking them to. Ask a fun, polarizing question. So this is a great technique to spark opinionated conversations, to get people to increase their engagement. So if everyone was online a few years ago, there was this huge trend about the dresses, the blue, or I think it was like gray, blue or something. I saw blue if you can't tell, but it was two dresses and the internet went wild over which color you were able to see. That's a good example of a fun polarizing question, and it went very viral. Use pop culture trends. So this is really, really popular. An example right now would be if you're on social, a really popular trend right now is very demure, very mindful, not messy, not chaotic, stuff like that. That's a pop culture trend right now. So you could do something with your business around that. Or when the Olympics were going on, or the Met Gala, there's lots of pop culture trends that happen that you can kind of use. There's another one on TikTok, Match My Freak. So just different examples of how we can use popular culture trends to our own advantage. Again, hitting those algorithms and getting viewership and retention on our social. Use an active voice. So this could be slogans, taglines. So Nike is like, just do it, for example, etc. Stimulate activism. So this, if you want to, there's a lot of people on social right now who talk more about the values side of the world, politics, religion, etc. If that's something that fits within your framework, especially within the Gen Z culture, they want to know where brands stand on some of those things. So those are different call to actions there. Inspire to give. So this is really great when you can do inspirational type call to actions. Reality, everyone feels oversaturated with sales pitch nowadays. So it's a really great way to learn more coupled with a good cause, or for every dollar spent, we give $1 back here. So that's kind of an example where you can do like inspiration. And then show yourself. So this is just vulnerability here. So if you can be very vulnerable with your audience, they really love that, especially the younger generations, young millennials, Gen Z. They want to know the face behind businesses. They want you to be authentic, genuine on social. If they feel that you are not, they're going to go with somebody else. So those are ways that you can just be authentic, show up, show your face. It doesn't have to be over the top. They just want you to provide your brand values, quality content, and that's going to help attribute customers to place your product above your competitors, and especially if they align with your values. Okay, now we're going to go over example CTA, so you can start to see different examples here. So here's a funny one. Yo, at Wendy's, how many retweets for a year of free chicken nuggets? 18 million. That was a huge trend a couple years ago of how it was a specific call to action. You can look at this. So this is a good one for the polarizing question. So should pizza be eaten flat or folded? I see you're a flat pizza eater. I'm a folder. If they wanted you to fold it, they would serve it like that. Here's an example of just funny. That's the whole trend with like pineapple on pizza too. It gets people commenting. So you see 660 comments, over almost 400 shares. Really great way to get people to start commenting and sharing and increasing your engagement. Nike basketball, it's only crazy until you do it. Hashtag just do it. So again, having those like statements, slogans that people can automatically recognize your brand, sort of like Nike here. Eggo's calling all 11s to Spencer's house. Hashtag Stranger Things. Happy Halloween. Anyone who shows up at my door tonight dressed as 11 from Stranger Things, you'll be given an Eggo. Waffles. So if people have seen that, she loves Eggo waffles in the show, but it was a really great way to go on pop culture trends here for Stranger Things. And then Eggo retweeted it again, getting more views, more engagement here. So lots of different tactics, different call to actions to nurture leads and increase your chances of conversions. Again, driving those leads into Progreda so that way you can manage them and convert them, get more revenue back into your pocket. A different, very popular social trend right now is DM lead gen. So DM direct message. So strategies are encouraging users to DM the word start or more info or like wealth, for example. This is getting people. So like I said, when you hook them and you do that rehook at the very end, a very popular call to action right now, that's subtle. That's not like directly go here to buy my service or product, but you could say, hey, if you want to learn more, DM me the word X and I'll send you a guide, or I'll send you a free ebook, or I'll send you whatever the case may be. It's a really great under the radar way to capture them, capture their information. It's a give get relationship. So you're giving a little bit to get something back here. It's very popular. I'm sure all of you have seen the DM lead gen, but if not, I'll show some examples later. But now we're going to talk about types of posts. So there's lots of different types of posts that you can post. Static posts are just that. It's static. It's just a graphic or a photo here. So it's a single image. So here's an example of a single image. Here's a carousel, but they're static carousel post. You can see it's deep soil, heavy excavation, soil excavation. So it's 1, 2, 3 on Instagram, and you can slide here. I will say when you're doing static posting, a little tip here is the algorithms prefer carousels over individual images. So for those who are not actively posting but are thinking about posting now, and my new 30-day challenge for you to post quality content, do carousels over just one specific photo. Make people scroll. So you'll see a lot of the times like 4 tips to X, Y, and Z. Scroll to find the 4 tips, and you'll just scroll your finger over them. But they're staying on your post, they're reading it, it's getting that retention up, those engagements. And then in your copy, you should be asking them to do something, whether it's direct or indirect. But that's one popular way of posting. It's just a static post. If you are thinking to yourself right now, I'm not even going to try a carousel post, that's fine. Just make sure your static post is nice, good lighting, a good photo. And then I would challenge you as your next step in social, start doing some carousel posts. Another one are videos and reels. So here's an example of a reel. So lean into the uncertainty. That's where all the joy, courage, and magic is. The more you lean in, the more you grow to love it. 13 seconds, very easy, gets you thinking. But people, influencers, brands, they all use reels, especially because of TikTok. I would say videos and reels are Instagram and TikTok, but they're entertaining ways to reach friends and followers. So I would encourage you to prioritize video content over static images, as videos do way better on social media than your images. But again, if you're one of those people right now who are sitting there thinking, I don't know if I can even do that once a week, that is okay. Start somewhere and grow. Start somewhere. Write down your challenge, what your goal is the next 30 days, whether you're posting once a week, you're going to be posting just photos, reels, carousels, or all of the above. You're going to mix it every other week, whatever the case may be. Write it down, stick it on your mirror or your office or wherever you will see it every single day to remind yourself to stick to the challenge and just post quality content consistently. Okay, and next, this is playing again, sorry. Here's another example of a video or reel. I'll turn the volume on. We did that for a luxury shoe brand who target audience is women who want to look great in affordable luxurious shoes. So instead of spending $1,000 on a pair of shoes, you can spend $200 and get the same look there. So that's an example of a really great reel. It's fun, it's entertaining. You can see all different types of styles, and it gets you thinking, can I wear the same thing? I love that outfit with a pair of shoes. Oh, I love that. I want to buy that, etc. So just another different type of post. Okay, proof of virality, because you're just like, okay, you tell me all of this, but where's the proof in the pudding here that you know what you're talking about? So I always like to show some different metrics of my own clients and my own journey within learning social media throughout the years. So here's an example of another brand that we did. You can see on social, we increased their impressions by almost 400%, their reach. We drove website clicks from social. So here is a live, real life example of where you can drive call to actions outside of social to your website to get people to do what you're trying to get them to do. We had 730 people within a month driving them to the website, to those call to action. So it is totally 100% possible social. I know it's a really big myth out there, but there's so much power in social media. There's over 1 billion users on social media every single day. So if you're good at if you're good at the copy, the hook, and posting, you're gonna be good at this, okay? Another one, so we can see some ebbs and flows here. You know, 9,000 impressions, profile views, website clicks. Again, drove website clicks. We have 17 pieces of content, but you can kind of see here where we started using some of those frameworks that I shared earlier. You can see we're kind of stagnant, but then here we are, you know, in August, kind of jumping a couple different times. So like I said, test, repeat, test, repeat. You're going to have to do that, especially for those who are newer in their business and they're in startup world. They're trying to gain brand awareness. This is going to be really important, that test phase. Some other one here. So before we started working with, this is a fitness professional. You see she had a little bit of a blip here, but then we can start to see it's kind of just stagnant. And then we use those frameworks here. And then here, as you can see, huge peaks and valleys within those graphs. So just an example of how it works when you're going off the algorithms. Okay, now you're like, okay, wow, how do I start posting? How do I use this? For those who are using Progreda today, here is a video of how to actually start using social media inside of Progreda and just the value that Progreda can bring to you within social media. So I'm going to play this in the chat. If you cannot hear the sound, let me know. All right, so let's chat about what it looks like to actually start posting and scheduling content inside of your Progreda account. So you can go into Progreda, go into the marketing tab here, and then click on social planner. If you have not been using this, this is the page that you're going to get. So you're going to have to connect some of your social media accounts, at least 2 of them, to get started. Once you connect them, this is what it's going to look like. So I can come in here and decide to create a new post. I can see the connect socials, total posts per day. I can open a planner, etc. So I can click on create new post. I know I'm going to want to click Facebook and Instagram. I can do a post, story, or reel here. So I can also customize for each channel. So it's very user friendly and dynamic on how you choose to create content. Now, I'm going to take a step back and dive into how to do social media if you've really never done content on your own for your social channels. So I love to use Canva. Canva is a really great place to get started on creating at least static images. Can y'all see my screen? No more sound. That's weird. Okay, hold on. Hello. Okay, let's try that again. I'll back up just a little bit. On your own for your social channels. So I love to use Canva. Canva is a really great place to get started on creating at least static images for now, and then you can create videos and presentations as well. But let's just say I'm looking for an Instagram post. I can click on Instagram and I want to do a portrait graphic. There are already going to be templates here that you can choose from, but I'm going to show you what it looks like to create a blank Instagram post. I know for my account, if you look back, it's Soulful Health. So I'm going to be probably wanting something a little bit more health related. So I can search design templates. So I'm just going to put natural health, for example. I can start to see all the different natural health templates to kind of start with, kind of get my, brain flowing on what exactly I would want to use. Something that matches my vibe, my colors,
but also something I know that's going to resonate with my audience too. So I have a younger audience, so something like this is going to be really great. It's got my boho, it's got a little bit of my colors already. So I could probably click on this, and then maybe I can say, you know, maybe I want to post about the top 5 things to add into your diet. Maybe I want to talk about like gut health or something. So I can move that around. I can make it a little bit smaller. I can call this the ultimate gut health here. And then I can come in here and start putting down, you know, fermented foods, for example. I can put in healthy fats, like avocados. Oops. I can put in nuts or almonds for brain health. And then again, I probably want to make that a bit smaller. Can do like omegas. So, I would probably want to do salmon, like salmon for omegas for brain development. And then maybe I want to do, you know, vegetables for fiber and antioxidants. So I can adjust that again, make this one smaller so it looks like it's gonna fit in here. And then I can do eating healthy. I can do add soulful _health. I can add my logo or whatever the case may be. So do you see how quick that was to make changes or edits? I can also, you know, move the leaf back. I can also search up elements. Maybe I want to add in, you know, like gut health, see if there's anything, you know, graphic wise for gut health. You know, so I kind of like some of these here. I can click really on any. Let's just say I wanted to do like trust your gut. It's kind of cute. I can put that in the corner here. Obviously I wouldn't really do that, but you get the idea of like maybe how you would want to do this. So like this is like gut microbiome, so maybe I want to like really put that kind of behind here. There's lots of different ways that you can go about adding different elements. Maybe I want to do like vegetables, for example, and maybe I want to do actual photos. There's videos, shapes, if you want to do different shapes. So there's lots that you can do here to make it unique and somewhat your own. You can add in different text. So you can do like simple text here, but you can also look at these different types. So just say I wanted this type of font, I could put that in here, and then obviously I could do like gut health, for example, and change it to look like that. So really easy to edit and maneuver Canva, but that's a little bit of walkthrough. You can also upload your own or have your own branded templates here, draw projects, audio, etc. So there's a lot that you can pull in here, but let's just say this is the graphic that I want to use. So I'm going to hit share, download. I'm going to do transparent background with PNG. Actually, I'm not, because I have a cute background. I'm going to just hit download, and here it is downloaded. Now the next thing is I want a caption. I want a nice caption that's going to captivate my audience. So just like our first session last time, we kind of leveraged ChatGPT. We're going to do that again to give us some ideas of some, Instagram descriptions that we can use for gut health. So I can come over here and ask ChatGPT to give me a description. So I'm going to start typing out what I'm going to do. So just give me 1 second. All right, so you can see here that I wrote out a description. So write me an Instagram post for my soulful health business. I have a graphic explaining the 5 things you can add into your diet for ultimate gut health, fermented omegas, healthy nuts and veggies. I want to encourage excite my followers to make these changes. I do not want a super long post and I want the post to be engaging. So I'm going to send that there and let's just see what happens. Great, perfect. So revitalize your digestion, transform your health. I would probably change this. That's not how I talk to my community, but great way to say, are you ready to elevate your gut health? Swipe to the left, incorporate
Can I
these
have
power pack
a,
nutrients. Why not
could I
start
have a
today?
copy of the
So
prompt in the
kimchi
chat
is
box, perhaps?
fermented almonds. That's that fat or that nuts and seeds, omega for fats, etc. So are you ready to embrace? I said I wanted it engaging, so in the comments below, tag us in your gut loving creation. So this is really going to allow, like one of those call to actions that we talked about earlier. This is really going to allow you to have your followers engage with you, but also drive them to do an action, which is we want them to share what they're making. And then we have some of those hashtags again for that static post that we talked about earlier. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to go back into Progreda. I know that I have my copy here, so I'm just going to paste it. It's great to go. I can see the preview. I'm going to add a photo. So I'm going to add from my library, and I'm going to upload my file to it. And I'm going to select my file. It's going to come in here and upload, and then I'm going to select it here. And now I can see exactly what that looks like. Probably need to change this a little bit, but you get the gist of what Canva can do. And then what I'm going to do is either save it for later, or I can schedule the post. So I'm going to schedule it maybe for Friday at around 9 a.m. and I'm going to schedule that post, and then boom, that's what it's going to look like. And you can see all of the info here. So really great way to utilize Progreda for your social media management. And then again, this is going to help you just start to plan things out and diversify some of that content. If you're not doing so already, Progreda is a great place to be doing that.
Okay. That gives you a little bit of an idea here about how to use Progreda for social. And then I'm going to get back into my presenter view here. Hopefully, I'm nervous people can't see. Let me double check. Okay, great. You can still see my thing. All right. So now you can kind of get an idea for those who are not doing social through Progreda or through any means today. Start doing that if you have access to Progreda today. Let me hit next.
All right, so let's chat about what it.
All right, so let's talk about a special offer. So for those of you who want these free prompts, I actually have an ebook out, creating captivating content. Usually it's valued at $99 because it is 7 chapters long. It gives you several free ChatGPT prompts, several free content ideas. So for those who want it, it's free for you today. There's going to be a link in the chat for you to download the free ebook. If you're still not sure, here's what you get. Here's the first, the 7 chapters. So it's going to go over the power of video for social media. So how to do it. The framework for creating viral video content. This is actually going to give you basically a framework of create your hook. Here's what you say next. Here's how to do the rehook. Here's how to do your call to action. Step by step, you're just going to plug in your information. It's literally there for you. So easy. I'm going to give a free 30-day video content plan for you. So for 30 days, you're going to have all different ideas and it fits every single industry. We're going to go over tips and best practices for maximizing virality. So that's where I'm going to give some of those free ChatGPT prompts to help you maximize that. I'm going to give you case studies, so other brands who have done it and can show the proof in the pudding there. Conclusion, and then the appendix will have all of the links to various different prompts, downloadables, So if you want to start doing it today and you're like, I'm still overwhelmed right now, get this free ebook. It is completely free for you today. It's free prompts, free chat GPT prompts, free content planning, all for you and your business if it's every single business model. So download it today. It's in the chat for those who want to start doing social. But I have another bonus offer for you. We're also going to give a free trial to Progreda. So valued at $3.99 a month is what Progreda costs. On their website, it's usually 7 days. Through me, you'll get a 14-day trial, 2 weeks for you to test out that content through Progreda, test out those prompts and that content plan to help drive leads into Progreda. So that way you can put more money back into your pocket. So that's another really great thing that we're giving away for free today, 14 days. Do it. Do the challenge. Start posting to social. Use Progreda to automate that lead journey so you can maximize your time and your ROI. And for those, again, just a quick recap over Progreda. You can see here on the left-hand side of Progreda for those who may not have it today, but want to. Yes, Molly, great. I'm glad you're using Progreda. Start using the social, and then the ebook's going to really help you with social media prompts. But for those who are not today, just quickly going over some of these tabs. So you have the dashboard. That's kind of what I showed some of those metrics earlier in the presentation. Conversations where you can monitor that DM me the word start on Instagram. All of those conversations flow into Progreda. Any appointments, if that's your call to action, will be here. Your opportunities, your marketing, your automations, your landing pages, your reputation, reporting, etc. So all of that you'll have access to for 14 days to test it out, start posting, start driving leads into Progreda, and just automate. So again, manage leads, communicate with leads, store leads, create powerful marketing campaigns. If that is the 4 things I'm going to tell you to do here, there's so much more that you can do with Progreda, but this is really important. Manage, communicate, store, create. So again, 14 days for free today. For those who are not using any CRM, it is very important for your business to automate your everyday task here. And then lastly, we'll go into a Q&A. So I know for those of you who are not doing social, you may have some questions about different tactics or ideas. Would love to take the time now to do some Q&A. So feel free to just come off mute and ask questions.
So does Progreda ever like do the post for you instead at $400 a month?
As far as like creating copy and like a graphic to post?
Yeah, just like creating content itself, or is it just more about tracking?
Both. So there is an AI capability built into Progreda. You can use that as an option and it'll like, you'll tell the AI kind of like what you're wanting out of the post and it'll kind of help you generate a graphic, and then you can use ChatGPT for the copy. But I would encourage you not to do that first. Get used to just posting on your own and testing and figure out what works within your audience before you start relying on AI. I mean, you can do that, but I have seen more success when you start to do it yourself, understand it, learn it, so that way you know how to talk to an AI tool to maximize what you get in return.
Good to know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Feel free to come off mute.
What would be the best first step for someone who has 0 social media accounts of any kind?
Yeah. Great first step is to create business accounts. So go create a Facebook. You're an acupuncture, so I would definitely do Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook if I were you. There's a huge wave of natural health going on right now, especially in that younger generation, young millennials. They're kind of turning away a little bit from westernized medicine. So it's a great opportunity to educate and look at what other people in your space are talking about within acupuncture. So I definitely do all 3 for you. And in fact, here in the chat, for those of you who do not have business accounts, here in the chat, I will give you step-by-step instructions. Quick little links. And then it'll take you step by step on how to create. So here's for Instagram here in the chat. And then let me grab TikTok.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. TikTok. And I say business just because business accounts can add the link in the bio. So you're going to want business accounts instead of real accounts. So there you go. Look, you started receiving acupuncture and you love it. So there you go. Social reviews of people who have been at the business too is really a popular rate. But there's a business account to get started for Instagram, for TikTok, and then on Facebook, just create a Facebook page. So how to create a Facebook page. And then those are the three that I would start with you since you're in acupuncture. Just do that. And then what I would do once you start and create an account is in your search bar, type in acupuncture, acupuncturist, acupuncture in your area. Type in all those different things, look at the top videos, see what they are, what they're talking about, look at the comments, and everyone can do this. So all those links are how to download and create business accounts. And then secondly is once you open up Instagram, open up TikTok, in that search bar, type in your industry, realtor, fitness, acupuncture, IT consultants, whatever the case may be, whatever you are, type it in, look at those top videos. That's going to give you an idea, Virginia, on your first post, what you should talk about, what you should do. I always like to say too, if you're brand new to it, there's also a ring light on Amazon. It's like $25. Let me look it up. I'll throw it in the chat too. You can put your phone on it, and light yourself up in a good lighting. But then also it's stable. So it's not like you're holding it like shaking, unstable. It's a really great product. I love it. My husband owns a video production company. He's the one that told me about it. He was like, it's $25. It's so affordable for so many people. Let me throw that in.
Yeah. And for those 6 touch points that you mentioned earlier, where it's fun and different stuff, what might that look like for a acupuncture post? Because it feels really hard and it seems challenging to incorporate all of those communication styles.
Yeah, so in my ebook, if you download it, I give the prompt away. So I tell you inside the book what to type out to ChatGPT that's going to help you with all those communication styles.
Thank you. I already downloaded the ebook.
Perfect. Yeah, I give all of that away in the ebook, all those prompts, so that way you're not left feeling, I have no idea how to do this. And again, it's a great, I'm like trying to talk and get this link. I think here we go. This link may work. Here's the ring light. It's $25. It's awesome. It's a little clicker. I have it. It's literally right next to me here. You just put your phone in here, it lights up, and it's like a little tripod stand. And it's a really great way to get some content for those of you who don't have the investment to get a video production, or, people coming out to get content for you. Just start there. It's $25. It's a great investment. I love it. I use it all the time. But yeah, so for you, Virginia, and anyone here, create your business accounts, links there. Look at the ebook. It gives you all of those chats for you, and you just plug in your niche, your industry name, your business name, etc. And you can start creating content. You can even tell ChatGPT to give you 30 days. Again, if you want a different 30 days, but the 30 days that I provide for you too is pretty universal for any industry. So look at that. And my email is out there in the world, but you can always schedule. I give away free consultations all the time. So feel free to schedule something with me, and I can have Ange throw that in the chat too if you ever have any additional questions, or after 30 days, if you're like, okay, I'm tired of doing this, I want somebody to do it for me, I'm here for all of you to do it. But the ebook gives you the roadmap, the keys.
Do ads work, like Facebook ads? I hear about them, but I don't even have a Facebook page. And are they more effective than Google ads and Yelp ads? Because right now I only do Yelp ads, which turned out to be a blessing, because I didn't realize that when people search anything about acupuncture, Yelp will almost always be one of the top 3 results anyway. And that's when someone clicks the Yelp page and I have a Yelp ad there, as well as I'm near the top anyway. So organically that's in my favor. But Google ads, I don't have it. Bing ads, I don't have it. And thinking about Facebook as well.
Yeah, it can't hurt to do if you have the money to invest. I would definitely tell you to get on some Google ads. And what you can do is, since you kind of already, I guess, depending on the area that you are, kind of already in that top search rank organically, what you could do is do one for your business name. So as you start to grow and have more of a presence, what you'll see other competitors do are create Google ads on your name. So they'll steal your clicks. So if I was to Google AccuSuccess, and my competitor was bidding against that on Google, they would be the top spot. And I would think that I'm clicking on AccuSuccess, but I'm not. I'm clicking on a different location. That's a really big strategy people use. The other one that I would do is bid on your own competitors. Look at your own competitors and your area who hold top spots on Google and bid against their names as well. So that way you can steal some of their clicks. That's another really big strategy. And then you could do one based on acupuncture. So think about the common, and you'll know this better than anyone because you're an acupuncturist, but think about why people come to you, what symptoms are they experiencing, and use that in your Google ads. So I did this for a menopause telehealth company that I work for. I thought about the ways they have a supplement for brain fog. So I thought about all the ways women would be Googling their symptoms. So brain fog at 50, or memory loss at 50, or can't remember things, or losing my train of thought, all those different symptoms that people are going to be Googling. Guess what? I put us at the top of the Google rank because I went based off what people might be Googling instead of acupuncture near me or acupuncturist near me, which that's a good thing to do, but you got to think a little bit further than that outside of, okay, how do I get people who may not know that an acupuncture is what they need? But they have the symptoms. So Google ads are really great for when you think about how people might be Googling your service without actually Googling your service, if that makes sense. And then Facebook, yeah, Facebook's a great one because Google and Facebook work together. So if I was to Google something about acupuncture, most likely I'm going to go on Facebook and see something about acupuncture not long after. So if you have the money to invest, ads are a good thing. But if not, you can do social media. It's organic, it's free. I always advocate to do both though. You always want a social presence, especially nowadays. People will look at social to vet you to see if you have any sort of presence. They'll look at your reviews. People don't just go off of a Google search anymore. There's lots of different things that they look at.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other thoughts or questions from anybody?
For the menopause thing that you're talking about, how did you what were the terms that you guys bid for? Is it like Menopause San Diego, or I mean, that doesn't seem very natural in my head.
Yeah, no, we are an online telehealth. So location, we service all states. So location really didn't matter to us for Google. So we didn't have to do near me or in California or in these areas. We really focused our efforts off of symptoms. So I had tons of different keywords under that particular ad group for menopause. And then I even sometimes just did menopause symptoms. How do I know if I'm in menopause? Or memory loss, is that a symptom of perimenopause? Because there's a lot of people, a lot of women who are about to get into their menopause journey think they may be in perimenopause too. So just researching and understanding your industry, and then knowing where those customers sit within those journeys and what they might be thinking, what symptoms they're experiencing. And I just typed that out as a keyword. I also tested it. So I would go and Google that myself and see what those top spots were. That's how I realized our different competitors worldwide versus locations. Then it allowed me to bid off really popular. If I saw the same competitor across all those different Google searches, I definitely bid on that competitor. So that way we could outrank them in Google, or steal their clicks if people were talking about them. They had really strong presence. So you can also just Google those phrases. So acupuncture near me, or I'm experiencing XYZ symptom, and start to see what pulls up on Google. That will give you a really good idea of where you can kind of play around with that. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Any other questions? Okay.
Could you tell me a little bit about the crowds like what are the different kind of crowds that are attracted to Facebook versus Insta versus TikTok perhaps?
Yeah, Facebook is a little bit of our older audience, is our main users of Facebook. So think about, I would probably categorize them as like 35 and up, probably even 40 and up. So think about your acupuncture patients and that age range. What are they most concerned with? What is their most common symptoms? What is their common questions? And then you can post more of that on Facebook. Instagram's more of that younger. It's a little bit of a mix, but you're going to find, I would say 20s and so on Instagram. A lot of reels. People love reels on Instagram. A lot of moms on Instagram, businesses. So you can start to think about that age range, what's important to them. And then TikTok is just really a catch-all. A lot of Gen Z though is on TikTok. Very young Gen Z, young millennials. That's primary users, but they have users of all age ranges across the board. But that's what I would probably bucket each of those at. And again, you can go and Google under Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and TikTok videos, acupuncturist or acupuncture, and you can start to see the differences between each of those platforms. But yeah, older on Facebook, youngish on Instagram, and younger on TikTok.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. So recap. I'm going to challenge all of you to decide what you're going to be posting to, how often you're going to be posting, and for the next 30 days. Download the ebook if you want some ChatGPT prompts and a 30-day content. There you go. There's your 30-day challenge. It's already given to you. So that way you can start building a brand, building consistency. For those of you who do not have anything, those links to build and create business accounts are in the chat. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok are great top 3 to start with if you're not already. And then for those who are not using any sort of software, a free Progreda trial to help you manage your time effectively, put more money in your pocket, capture those leads effectively into the system. But that is my takeaway for all of you. Start posting 30 days. And in 30 days, the end of September, I hope all of you email me and tell me how it's going, because I'd love to know how it's going with y'all. So put a sticky note, remind yourself 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. Post consistently, quantity or quality over quantity.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I really appreciate all your insights and wisdom and just, yeah, there's so many resources. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm happy to help. Love giving this stuff away. Love helping other businesses grow.
Thank you, Morgan. This has been so helpful and so beneficial. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Welcome. Oh, that just makes my day. I'm so glad all of you found it super helpful. But until next time, I do these every 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for your email. You can join the next one. Will be about advertising. So we'll go over advertising next and all the benefits of that. All right. Talk to you tomorrow, JP. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.